Have you ever felt like fear was taking over your life? That weight on your chest, the feeling that things are out of control, and that there's no way out? The good news is, even in the toughest times, we can find an endless source of peace. Today, we'll explore how Psalm 23 can be the key to facing your fears and bring the confidence that you are not alone. This psalm, filled with words of comfort and hope, might be the answer you've been seeking for peace amidst the storm. Let's discover how David's words, written so long ago, can make all the difference in your life today. Psalm 23, written by David, has been a source of comfort for millions throughout history. David, whose life was marked by great hardships, understood what it was like to face struggles and moments of fear. When he wrote this psalm, he was expressing a deep trust in God. David compared God to the Good Shepherd, someone who cares for and protects their sheep. He shows us that, even in times of struggle and insecurity, God is with us, taking care of every detail of our lives. The metaphor of the shepherd is powerful because it paints the picture of a leader who knows his sheep, who cares for them and leads them to green pastures. No matter what we are facing, God is our shepherd, and with him, we can walk without fear, trusting in his guidance. I know many of you are going through tough situations right now. Maybe you're facing a crisis, a painful loss, or uncertainty that makes you fear the future. Anxiety can be overwhelming, and often, it feels like we're walking this path alone. But the good news is you're not alone. Psalm 23 is a constant reminder that, even when we feel vulnerable and unsure, God is by our side. He will never leave us, not even when we're walking through the valley of the shadow of death. David teaches us that we need not fear, for he is with us. When we allow ourselves to trust in God, he brings us a peace that surpasses all understanding, a peace that doesn't depend on circumstances, but on his constant presence in our lives. Now, let's take a deeper look at what Psalm 23 truly teaches us and how we can apply these teachings in our daily lives. The psalm starts with the words, "The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want." What does this really mean for us today? First, this verse speaks of God's provision. He is our shepherd, and as such, he takes care of us in every aspect of our lives. We're not alone in our struggles. God is the one who gives us everything we need to overcome difficulties. This doesn't mean life will be without problems, but that, no matter what happens, he will sustain us. When we trust in God, we can rest, knowing that he will provide the strength and wisdom needed to face any challenge. Next, the psalm says, "He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul." These words are an invitation to rest in God. In such a busy world, full of pressures, it's easy to get lost in anxiety and stress. But God offers us rest. He leads us to green pastures, places of peace, where we can renew our minds and spirits. When you feel consumed by fear and worry, remember that God offers a safe place for you to rest. He restores your soul, bringing peace and healing to your heart. Even in the midst of chaos, we can find serenity in his presence. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. This verse is particularly powerful because it speaks of the fear we all face at some point in life. The valley of the shadow of death is a metaphor for the darkest and most difficult times, those moments of fear, suffering, and uncertainty. But even when we're in the midst of a crisis, we can be sure that God is with us. His rod, representing protection, and his staff, representing guidance, comfort us. God doesn't abandon us when we face life's most challenging moments. He is by our side, protecting and guiding us, offering everything we need to navigate through these times. The next verse says, You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. God doesn't just take care of us, but He also blesses us abundantly. Even in the midst of adversity, He prepares a table for us, offering His abundance. He anoints us with oil, symbolizing His protection and blessing. And as a result, our cup overflows, a sign that His provision is more than enough for us. When we feel like we're losing everything around us, we can trust that God continues to bless us. His goodness and mercy are greater than any adversity we might face. Psalm 23 ends with a promise from God. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. God's goodness and mercy are constant and always with us. No matter what happens, He loves us and walks with us every day. And the greatest promise of all is that when our journey on this earth ends, we will be with God forever, enjoying His eternal presence. This is the hope we have, the assurance that even amidst difficulties, our future is secure in God's hands. Now, I want to share with you a story that exemplifies the power of Psalm 23 in moments of fear and uncertainty. Anna, a woman facing a financial crisis, was on the brink of despair. She had lost her job and didn't know how she would pay the bills. The nights were long, and fear consumed her heart. But in the midst of this crisis, Anna began praying Psalm 23 every day. She remembered that, despite the hardship, God was with her, taking care of every need. A month later, she received an unexpected job offer that not only covered her debts, but also brought a new opportunity for growth. Anna saw how God guided and protected her, and how her trust in Psalm 23 brought the peace needed to overcome the crisis. She learned that, even in the darkest moments, God was present, providing for her in ways she could never have imagined. Now, I invite you to take a step of faith. If you're facing fear or insecurity, read Psalm 23 every day. Meditate on its words and allow them to become a source of comfort and strength for you. When fear arises, remember that God is your shepherd, and He is taking care of you. Trust in Him, and He will guide your steps, bringing you the peace and security you need. If you're going through a difficulty right now, pray with me. Lord, I trust in You, even in the hardest moments. Guide me and strengthen me with Your peace. Don't be afraid, for He is by your side. Remember, fear doesn't have to dominate your life. God is always by your side, guiding and protecting you through every moment. By trusting in His presence, you will find the courage to face any challenge. God's goodness and mercy will surely follow you all the days of your life, and one day you will be with Him forever. Thank you for joining us today. If this message touched your heart, share it with those who need to hear these words of hope. May the peace of the Lord be with you, today and always.